Hi, welcome everybody. Okay, we got a lot to go over here. Going to dive kind of right into it. First things first, I do want to acknowledge the tragedy that we had in our community. As people know, we have lost a friend of ours. It sucks. It's not the first loss that we've had. Unfortunately, we've lost Jade West, who was just one of the most amazing people I've ever met in my entire life. One of the most smartest, erudite, rational people. And then, of course, we lost Psy Strike. We lost Bullinator, which was devastating, to say the least. And now OPT Lawyer. But, there's not much we can just kind of say to express, how these things affect us. There's just not words in the English language, I don't think. So, the most I can do is just express to his family and the friends, the people that cared about him, that we understand the devastation and the loss all too well. And so with that, my condolences goes out to his family and things of that. So I'm going to try to hold it together here. I really have been trying, trust me. It has been one hell of a week, this roller coaster this last week. It has been, ups and downs, and the ups have been up and the downs have been down. So, but anyways, Jess, I got you in here to kind of give me a little bit of support here. So
it's we're back to the emotional support Canadian.
We have you of all people, right? Cheshire and Canadian.
I'm the local camp counselor.
Yeah. So.
No, everything to do with all of that is awful. The baggage that comes along with it by being on the internet and having so many crummy people around also makes that even worse. People arguing about it makes it worse. There is no winning when it comes to
especially with cancer. Cancer has got to be one of the most horrific things that is on our planet when it comes to people. I mean, my brother. People may or may not know this. I don't know. I had a half brother, my father's side. He died of colon cancer when he was 50. It had metastasized to his lymph nodes and lungs. But he was on chemotherapy and radiation therapy for about a decade, and so it did prolong his life. It did extend it, but he was miserable. He had been suffering from depression most of his life, and he succumbed. And cancer affects everybody. This is not one of those things where it's a he said, she said. It is cancer sucks. Fuck cancer. It is. I don't even know how to express how awful that disease really can be to people. Luckily, I've had some cancer screening because I had some blood work done, and I don't have it, and I'm whatever, God may or may not exist for that.
Imagine if something like that ended up in your lawsuit.
Well, cancer, isn't something that's brought on by other people. So I mean, I don't know what that.
No. I mean, imagine somebody using you getting medical screenings and needing medical.
Right. Yeah. True. Good point.
For things being
very good point on that.
Point for a for a lawsuit.
Yeah, that's actually a good segue into the next part. And again, I want to spend the appropriate amount of time just acknowledging, OPT lawyer. And by the way, can we use his name?
No.
Is that? Or
I don't even know.
Can we use his first name? Or just not? Yeah, I wouldn't either.
But I would not.
I wouldn't either, only because the reason, some people know who he was. I mean, some people have met him in real life, and I know all. I mean, I had his videos from when he was.
We know people who go around calling police and
I was more worried about them desecrating his memory, like they already have with Bullinator, and people. One day later, people are already desecrating OPT's memory.
It's not even a day.
But I mean, I know who he was because he sent me videos of when he actually was. Doing he went in front of the state Supreme Court twice, and he sent me videos, so I know exactly. I had all his information, and we were friends. We were close when it came to that. I mean, I talked to him quite frequently.
You don't want. It's hard to say what the appropriate amount of time is, because I think people are going to be upset about this. Essentially, when it comes to stuff like this, it's forever.
Somebody says his first name is known, and I think that's probably true, and I don't want to be disrespectful. That's my only issue is I don't know. I'm just going to call him OPT because people know him as OPT.
We also don't want to encourage any negativity.
And that's the big thing. These people are horrific. These trolls. Matter of fact, we're going to get into Truth Sleuth's video and that information here shortly. But it came in at the end, and people saw the evil that was in Truth Sleuth's live chat, and that's no harm to her. I mean, her mods are great, but I mean, I'm glad that they didn't.
No, they handled it. They handled it very well. I was impressed.
No problems. But I'm glad that they showed up because it shows exactly what we've been talking about. There's somebody that's using Bullinator's memory to troll. These are not human beings that are rational, ethical.
I see that little.
They're evil. They're pure evil.
And I see that little ghost emoji, and no matter who's using it, and I'm just like, ugh.
But it proves our point. I mean, we don't even have to say anything about these people. We can not say a damn word and go, oh, look, here we go. Here's a person using the death of one of the greatest men I've ever known was Bullinator. That guy had not an evil, malicious, mean bone in his body. Not a single thing he ever said to me was malicious in nature. Nothing. Nope. And yet people are using his death as a weapon. That's what we're fighting against. So, but, yeah, and by the way, I'm paying attention to the live chat, not as much as I normally do, but I am a little bit. And something like this, I have to read out because it's great. And another person who I respect a lot, I don't know exceptionally well, but I really do respect, Astronomy Live. He says, going to miss OPT forever, and nothing the disgusting, horrible uni crowd says will ever detract from his memory. Amen, man.
If you want to talk about
absolutely, do I agree with that?
If you want to talk about another honorable, wonderful man that I've never seen do anything out of malice or say anything out of malice, Astronomy Live.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. That another good guy. Astronomy Live is a good guy. I've never seen anything malicious from him.
Nope.
So yeah, I agree with them 1,000%. Uni crowd, and I do blame the uni crowd. I blame Unirock. I blame Agrippa. I blame all those people that have fostered that kind of atmosphere. Now, is it affected me? No. Honestly, those trolls don't affect me that much. It's affecting other people that affect me, if that makes sense. They're harming people that I care about. That affects me, and maybe that gets them off. Maybe they enjoy that, even though they're not directly getting to me. They know by hurting other people it hurts me. I see their weird line of reasoning on that, right? If they can't directly harm Steve, go after people Steve cares about. Go after the people that Steve loved, which is disgusting.
I mean, I can't really say that they're not affecting me at all, just because, like I said, I see that ghost emoji, and I'm like immediately like, no matter who's using it, I see that thing, and I'm like, oh no.
Because we literally cared for Bull a lot. Bull was a big part of our life, man. I talked to Bull pretty much every day or every other day. Mm-hmm. The only person I even talked to that much was Cheshire. Yeah, I mean, I talked to a lot of people, don't get me wrong, but we talk pretty much every day because we're always planning stuff, we're always talking about stuff. So yeah, it was a devastating loss. Yeah. All right, so moving on from that a little bit.
I'm sure we'll end up talking about this more at other times, when it's appropriate, covering it when necessary.
And
for now.
And by the way, if anybody's having any kind of OPT streams, let me know. I'll come join you, and I will probably be bawling my eyes out. But whatever, I don't care if
Steve, how dare you be human?
I don't care if trolls use that against me. I don't give a flying fuck about that. Look, I have emotions. Then you cannot change how you feel about something, right? If you are so saddened by something and so hurt by something, it just happens, and I'm not going to feel guilty for that. So fuck them. But whatever. Let's kind of. All right, so moving on to what you guys really wanted to know about, I think. So Truth Sleuth had her video, and I think it was very well done. I can tell you right now that she has been somebody that I have trusted, somebody that and from the very beginning, I had told her all I've ever asked for her is be objective, and I hope she verifies that. I don't think why she wouldn't, but that's what I want. I want objectivity. I live my life rational, objective, ethical, and people can say that I don't. People can say I'm a horrible person, but look at the trolls that came in after the very end of toward her video. They had nothing. It was just a shit on people. That's all it was. It was a shit on people and desecrate the memories of dead people. That's all they do. These are called gang stalkers. This is literally what they do. It's called gang stalking, and we're going to have an episode of that on. I think we're going to do a special caffeine corner. Actually, I think on that.
Yeah, we haven't done a caffeine corner in a while, so we thought it might be a good topic to cover and sort of help get some information on. Truth Sleuth says verified in the chat.
Yeah. By the way, I'm talking about Bull and OPT Lower because I mean both of them. Both of them, it sucks. And by the way,
both of them were good people who are no longer with us, and people are trying to weaponize that.
There have been people that said Bull. There was somebody the other day, yesterday, that said Bull was murdered.
Mm-hmm.
How sick are these people? And I know they're just doing it to get a rise. I know they're just doing it to get attention. But
Yep.
these are the evil people that we have been fighting against for how many years? Because this is why I left a lot of those people that do that kind of shit. This is why they have gone after me for 5 years and try to,
Yep.
to come after me.
But so Allie's Truth Sleuth video premiered today.
Oh, is she in
It
the?
just ended a little bit. Yeah, she's in the
Okay.
side chat.
I'm just gonna. Okay, go ahead.
Give her a mod?
Yeah, yeah. I was gonna give her a mod because I don't. Not that she's
Give her a
going to
wrench.
use it, but that means it's like, yeah. So if she needs to for anything,
That's gonna
like
make
if
her
she wants to
harder
link anything.
see.
Yeah.
If she wants to link.
I give mods to links, and there's various reasons to have mods. One, you don't have to worry about the slow chat. You don't, and you get post links and things of that nature, and people can't time you out.
Two things about that video that I really, really liked. That is plotting to both her and to you and your lawyers is the receipts and how they were gone over. Fantastic. Screenshots for pretty much every claim. The only one that was a little bit confusing was the one. There were two. One part about the NDA, where I think there's just more information to be had there. And two is the because I asked Truth Sleuth in the chat, I was like, are you familiar with the NDA stuff? And she said no. So hopefully she gets that information if she needs it or if she's interested. I'm sure you would send it to her if she
Oh yeah, no, I didn't know she didn't have it. I can send her the NDA. I can send her the TRO. I can send her all that stuff.
Yeah,
and like I said, there's a whole
I
bunch of people I could have
read
sent it to, but she has earned my trust. I will give her that. She has earned my trust.
Yeah, no, I read through all of it on my channel. Also, it's there, and so I'm gonna go over it again a little bit more when I go over when I get to go over this on Sunday. When I get to go when it's my turn. Is it my turn after I was betrayed?
Yeah.
Truth Sleuth.
I like her. I like Allie better. What do you want from me? Okay.
That's fair. I like Allie better too.
She seems like good
Anyway.
people. But by the way, Starting My Life says they accused me of killing him. Is absolutely sick. Absolutely. And they accused me of shooting up Kyle's house, and even Kyle said that never happened. So I mean, again, these are gang stalkers. What gang stalkers do is they formulate these weird stories, and again, we know people called Bull's Corner to try to convince him it was murder. These people are sick. These are psychopaths, not just sociopaths, straight up psychopaths. But we're gonna deal with that another time. I think.
We're gonna have a contest to see who's been accused of the worst stuff.
We're gonna have a pity party to say, okay, who's been accused of the worst? Yeah, that would suck. Yeah, that would definitely suck.
There's there's the NDA stuff, which I think could have gotten over a little bit more, but I mean, for the sake of time and for the sake of the amount of history that is between you and KJ, as well as I think the way she covered over those receipts was just really
and
well
those
done.
were just a fraction of the receipts. And by the way, Monia.
And there was one that was kind of confusing about the claims, the Periscope claims.
Yeah, Monia has to go to work, so let me say, night to her. Monia, adore you. Thank you for all you've done. Monia, don't die. Okay, I can't take another loss. I'm not even trying to put that out there. I can't. It just will not happen. So if you're somebody that I love and care about, don't die on me, please. I'm not asking for a lot, I don't think. Yeah. So when going over the receipts, those were just initial receipts. Those are not everything. I've given Truth Sleuth, I think, everything for the most part. I mean, at least anything she's asked for. There's a lot more evidence, and I've given that all to my attorney. He has all that. There's a hell of a lot more evidence. But some of the stuff that was non-contextualized, the charge that I abused her child was her, of course, being something that was very vague, right? There was no context with that for a reason.
It was what I like to call specifically vague.
Yeah.
So it's when you say something specific, but you are vague about the details in a way that you can't really verify or really grasp what exactly it is they're making the accusation about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's why we put it in there. It's just to show that this is how Katie uses words to try to manipulate her audience. Because if I said to somebody, let's say I said to I just looked at the first name up there, Tree Feline that I just saw in the live chat. If I said to Tree Feline, Cheshire hurt me. That could mean she physically came up to me and slapped the crap out of me. She shot me, or just said something that was hurting my feelings. It's without context. But abuse is a very hyperbolic word, right? If Cheshire said, Steve abused me, that means something very different. at least contextual wise, as we understand society. And
Right.
I do believe that Katie, as somebody who says she's a journalist, knows how to use these words to manipulate people like that. And there have been instances of that which have been demonstrated, such as the TRO that she had against me. She used words like to say, when we were in the same room together, Steve harassed me. We have never been in the room together. I've never been in that state. She uses the word room uncontextualized to make it appear to the judge that we were actually in the physically the same room together, because I don't think she thought that I was going to fight it.
It's not contextualized on purpose.
Yes.
Which is what makes it so manipulative.
Yes.
Because there are times when people will misspeak or they'll use a word that differently than what you hear standardly. And so without that, it is not on purpose, right? And sometimes people are just being hyperbolic, or they're trying to link point A to point B. So they'll move what they're saying over to this direction, right? And so it's not a matter of the context is being left out on purpose to be manipulative. Sometimes it's just people misspeaking or somebody's making a point.
Mm-hmm.
And in this particular case, in this lawsuit, no, it was absolutely on purpose to make something sound like something it was not.
Yeah, and I think that was well demonstrated. As a matter of fact, Aaron from EKC People, EKC People Plus, EKC People Suck, did a brilliant job on that. She pointed that out very clearly, and that Katie's receipts didn't match her complaints. Katie's receipts will never match her complaints. I will tell you that straight out. There's zero chance of that. I have told people from day one, there was never any sexual harassment. I have never hit on Katie. Never would, never has happened, period. There was no fraud, no medical fraud. No, I've never collected disability. I've never collected Social Security. So how is it that anything she said about me collecting disability and Social Security be true when it's impossible? And it can be demonstrated that I've never collected on those things. So these are things that are just false by fiat, defamation per se. But you know, she words those things. So people in her audience who don't know me, who don't know the history, who don't have access to like myself or Cheshire or those who've been around, they don't hear the facts. They don't hear the truth. They hear, oh, look, Steve's a bully. Steve's a harasser. Steve's this. I haven't said, the last words I ever said to Katie Joy was in 2019.
Yeah, right.
2019. How am I the biggest harasser in the world if I haven't said a word to the woman since 2019? It's almost 2020.
It's past 2020. You mean?
Oh, sorry, 2022.
Are you okay, Steve?
No, I'm not, but whatever.
Steve is not okay, but it's fine.
Don't do this to me.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, seriously. But anyways, I thought we'd do like a little, if you guys got some questions. I'm not going to go over the complaint. I'm going to give Cheshire a complaint, an unwatermarked complaint. And yes, I was very fine with Truth Sleuth watermarking that. I think that was actually smart of her.
Smart,
very smart. She's not a dumb person. I will
smart.
give her that.
No, that was brilliant. I mentioned that too. I was like, that's so clever.
Yep. I had no problem with that whatsoever. And so I'll give you though. So you don't use her watermark, so I'll give you a copy. But
I mean, I wouldn't even mind having her watermark all over it if it needs to be.
Well, I'm not going to watermark it, but no, you can't use her watermark. That's why she watermarks it. There's a reason for that. That's smart. But I'll give you, a blank copy, and then you use it, because I don't want to read it on this channel right now. I want you to do that on yours, because you can do it objectively as well, and it just let you and other people objectively go over it in step by step on your channel is fine.
Well, yeah, like her video and my video are not going to be the same thing. I'm not going to be focusing on like chunk by chunk. I'm going to be doing a full read through, and then I might do with that the same. I'm not sure which way I'll go, because I do one of two things. Either I'll read the whole thing and then go back and start talking about it, or I'm going to talk about bits as I'm reading through it. Probably I'll talk about bits as I'm reading through it and just kind of chunk it out. But I find that it's, when it comes to reading like KJ's filing, like with the affidavit and the NDA, it was so much better to just read it through. And now that I've read it through, I'm going to go back
then evaluate
and step by step,
right.
Because there's so much. But I think with yours, because you've already got the receipts plugged in, I don't think I'll have to do the same thing.
Manya says, and by the way, if you have a question to me, direct it to me or if you have a question to Cheshire, direct it at. She says, what do you think about Nate coming on in the end on Truth Sleuth's video and saying the lawsuit was BS? I have Nate blocked, so I couldn't see anything. And I don't care. Nate, but let me answer that real quick. Hey, how many things did Nate get right about the Non Sequitur show? How many things did he get wrong? A lot. So his ability to evaluate legal stuff is absolute shit. And that is a fact because he was wrong across the board on the Non Sequitur show stuff. He was just wrong. It's been proven wrong. So yeah, I'm going to give a crap what Nate says. He's shitty at what he does, I guess.
I have a little bit of a different opinion because Truth Sleuth didn't show all of the
Oh no, she didn't. She only showed a fraction of what I gave her. Trust me.
Right.
Trust me on that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm gonna be going over it on Sunday.
Yeah.
But he is saying that the lawsuit that he hasn't seen is bullshit unless he's gotten it from somewhere else.
Well, Manya said he came in at the end, which means that he saw the. Well, yeah, he hasn't seen.
He didn't see the whole thing.
Oh, okay. That might be true. Yeah, I mean, he's just going to throw that out there, so it doesn't matter. I mean,
it comes off as incredibly not objective and incredibly biased. Shocking, I know.
Feline wants me to stroke her ego. I'm happy to do so. She says, "How many things did I get right on the Non Sequitur show stuff? Like spot on right? I would say 99.9%." And that's to leave room for error, for margin. But yeah, I mean, Feline was pretty much. Nobody's 100%, right? But I mean, Feline was about as spot on as you can get. I didn't see any significant errors in her legal reasoning. She got all the law right from what I've seen, and she was right. I mean, the case proved that she was right. And it proved, by the way, I was right as well. Now, maybe I had a few things I got wrong here and there. I'm not a lawyer. But I fixed them. And for the very most part, of course, I was right on the Non Sequitur show. But yes, Nate is incompetent, in my opinion. Absolutely. But yeah, so I don't care what he has to say. It's irrelevant. Okay, so Cheshire, your volume is low.
I turned myself up a little bit, but I think Steve's going to have to take it from there. Otherwise, it's going to get really
I could turn mine down a little bit. All right, testing. Okay, so I dropped mine down about 5 dB or so. And then that should equalize that. And the people don't have to jump the volume.
I kind of got a little bit of a giggle seeing them all come in at the very end because, of course, they weren't going to be able to actually discuss anything. And so they just wanted to get their last word in at the very end of the video.
Yeah, they're just there to harass. But here's the thing.
Well, and they were able to go right at the end. So because if they stayed any longer, they would have gotten kicked out as per the rule in Truth Sleuth's live chat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I like the way she does that. Yeah.
Yeah, smart. But there's another thing. Is it's just very akin to that time they all tried to jump on William Shatner.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Same thing.
Yeah, these are, well, that's what I'm saying. That's why we're going to do a show on gang stalking. These guys are gang stalkers, and then they project it, right? It's like Steve's crew and he's Steve's crew. I have nobody in a crew. Nobody. I have people in my life that I trust and care about. And it's a very small group of people. I'm talking about, like, I can literally count them on my fingers, okay? Those are the people that I care about. And those people I love. Everybody else I care about. And they're friends and people like that. But I mean, it's people that I like give a kidney for. It's a very small group of people. Okay, Cheshire is definitely one of them, obviously. But I have no group like that.
Your old man kidney.
Hey, these things, they can urinate, man. These can urinate. Let me tell you. There you go. Quote me on that.
Good to know.
Yeah, Steve can.
I'm not gonna get. Okay. Thanks.
Look, man. When you get older, you pee a lot. What do you want?
Yeah, listen.
This is a biological fact. You pee when you pee more as you get older. Find one person that's over 50 that doesn't pee. Go ahead. You won't do it. Yeah. But
nobody poops but you.
Yeah, nobody poops. Man. All right. So anyways, what do you guys want to know about this? Because again, I am asking the community for support. I admit that. The support is to get justice that it shows that what she has said about me is false, right? That's the goal of this lawsuit. It was for my reputation, that she has made horrific things that are going to affect me later on in life, right? Especially with my daughter having to read certain things, people and see certain things that were not true, right? This is why I brought this lawsuit. It wasn't for money. It wasn't for anything other than getting. Matter of fact, I told my lawyers I want my reputation back because she defamed me, and that's what defamation per se is. And she did the same thing to Todd Chrisley.
I think it's not even just about you either.
No, she does it to how many?
I
I mean, how many people
she
has
yeah, it's
she tried to slam? I didn't do this just for me too. I'm doing this for other people as well. That she's done this exact same things to. I'm not the first, and I certainly won't be the last.
there's also like a certainty when it comes to if there was a chance for a lot of the people who can't do anything that have seen this going on, who by themselves can't do anything, this is something that they can do and have a direct effect on to see the results that I think a lot of them want to see. Most people that are so done with Katie are not people who want to see her hurt. They want to see her stop, because stopping is going to be what's good for not just Katie, but for everybody else involved, right? Because there's this thing called collateral damage. So as much as Katie is going after Gabby, as much as Katie is talking about Steve, as much as Katie is talking about Todd Chrisley and Todd Chrisley's daughter, there are people that are watching that get sidelined by these like horrific statements. This whole Me Too movement gets like slandered by people that are misusing it and making false accusations. It hurts everybody. That's not good for anybody. So it's not, yes, of course it's about you and your reputation, but you're the one with the strongest case from
Yes.
what I can see. And so if you want the result of this collateral damage being undone, or at the very least started to be rectified, or at least prevented from happening in the future, this is the best chance anybody's got.
Yep. And I firmly
My
believe that.
opinion.
I mean, Todd Todd's case, and I saw it. Emily Baker had read it. That's the only time I've ever seen it, obviously.
What, you didn't watch mine? What the hell, dude?
No, I didn't. But I did see it on
Damn
Emily
it,
Baker's.
Steve.
And by the way, if anybody wants a copy, a copy that doesn't have the watermarks, and they want to go over it, just let me know. Just DM me, and I'll get you a copy. Or DM um, Allie. She has one without the watermarks if she wants to give it. But don't use her ones with watermarks, obviously. That's why she watermarks it. But if anybody else wants a copy now, like Chess or Nails, to read it on theirs, then let me know. I'll give them a copy without watermarks. But yeah, as you said, I mean Todd Chrisley's case. I mean he has a case, but is mine stronger? Yeah, I believe so, absolutely, because mine is de facto true. I mean, it's just for example, she had said that the judge, and sua sponte means the judge put it in there without any kind of motion or order or anything like that. So she claims sua sponte that the judge put this TRO under VAWA. That's false. That's just false. One, the VAWA expired in
It's not how
2019.
any of that works.
Yeah, it's not how it works. And my lawyer, I have evidence from my lawyer that I didn't give. I don't know if I gave it to Allie or not, but my lawyers have all this. It's on my blog, by the way. My blog's, you can go to my blog and see part 3. I put it in there, I think it was. But my lawyer said, no, the judge never did this. So my lawyer said the judge didn't. Never happened. The fact remains that the VAWA expired in 2019, so it couldn't have happened. So, which means that she lied about that, which means it was not true, it was defamatory, and it has affected me. I can prove damages. Can literally prove damages. So I don't know what, she has no defense on that. Matter of fact, in her response, there was no defense to that. It was, well, the documents speak for themselves, basically. What does that mean? The documents speak for themselves. Yeah, it talks about fair full faith and credit clause under, what is it, Title 18, 18 something. But that full faith and credit is on every form. It's pro forma. The judge didn't take that and put it specifically under anything. It's on every single form. Now, I don't know if she...
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell she was thinking, except that she wanted to make it appear, in my opinion, to her audience that this judge saw this evidence and said, oh my God, this is so horrific.
Yeah.
I'm going to put this under Violence Against Women's Act. And the third thing is, it couldn't have been, it's impossible, is in order to be under VAWA, you have to be a domestic partner of some kind or family. There's no possible way to be under VAWA if you never met a person.
Yeah. But I mean, there's also a possibility that she wasn't thinking and somebody maybe gave her the idea.
Es posible.
I mean, it would be certainly interesting to see if she throws anybody under the bus during a deposition.
And I would be okay with that. Yeah.
I would also be okay with that.
Yeah.
I
Speaking
wonder.
of which,
We've already seen her buddy Kyle throw her and a couple of people under the bus during his
so
deposition.
there is one clarification because I like the record to be historically accurate, and this was mea culpa. Mea culpa. This was just me not being as clear as I should have been, and I apologize for that. We are in the discovery phase. That is true. Okay. We are in the initial disclosures, but I thought they were already sent to her lawyer. They have not been sent to her lawyer yet, but we are ready to. We have it all drawn out. So if there was any misconfusion there that we have sent her that, we haven't sent her that yet. Does that make sense? Because I in my tweet when I read it back about when I saw it on Allie's thing, I was like, oh wait, yeah, maybe I kind of like.
That could have been worded better.
It could have been worded better, right? So we are in the discovery phase. That is true, and we are what's called initial disclosures by Minnesota rules. But it hasn't been disclosed to her yet. We just finalizing our strategy and game plan now, and it's tight. It is. I'm straight up telling you, we have a solid case. I mean, there's no question about that. The thing is though, it's going to take several months to do all this and stuff like that.
There's only going to be one particular kind of lawyer that's going to not think this is a solid case.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind if Emily decided to do her analysis on it, and if somebody wants to give her, the only person that has a copy right now, an unredacted copy, is Allie. So maybe she can send that to Emily if she wants to do it. I don't know, but like I said, I think she'd be objective and fair and probably say it's a strong case. But whatever, I believe it's a strong case. My lawyers believe it's a strong case, I'm sure. So if that, I mean, how is it not strong? I mean, it's like it's there.
Yeah, in what way?
Yeah, so
right.
But like I said, it's gonna take time, and of course I am working. I am definitely working. I mean, I'm putting my whole life into this to get my reputation back. This is not some spur of the freaking moment stuff. I mean, I ponder this.
No, this has been going on for years.
Right.
This isn't like a snap judgment, knee jerk reaction to a thing that this woman said one time.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So what I like people to do is, to help me out. Of course, if you can't donate to the GoFundMe, I completely understand that. And there are people saying, "Well, I'm not going to donate." Okay, fine, don't. But they've been saying that for like 4 or 5 days or something now, or whatever. It's like, that's just weird. It's just creepy. If you don't want to, don't want to. But if you can put it out there, where people talk about it on their videos and help me with the GoFundMe through their videes, their YouTube channels,
and share and get the word out.
Yeah, get the word out. And I will say this, like I said, anything over $100 or more, if it goes all the way to trial and I get legal fees, that'll be returned. Okay, because I don't want to double up on that, and I'm not here to make some kind of profit. I'm here to get justice and my reputation back. That is my goal. That's what this GoFundMe is for, is to show that she was wrong about this, and then people can use that later on to say, oh, look, this was incorrect.
And the thing is, it's like
just get my reputation back.
The better this lawsuit goes and the smoother it goes, the better it is for everybody. I emphasize, for everybody,
and including Todd, because I think Todd is going to. I mean,
Todd and everyone.
Todd has the ability to extremely go full out nuclear. I mean, he has the means. Let's be serious. I mean, he has the means, and I think that he's going to. I understand what he's going through. I was reading some of the stuff on Celebrity News or something or other, and I didn't really fully dive into the nuances of his family issues because it just wasn't really relevant to me. But when I was reading about it, I was like, holy crap, there's a lot of stuff here. And I think Katie had made a lot of allegations and a lot of stuff. And I understand Todd's position, at least I think I do, is that it's personal. It is extremely personal with him. And I get that because it's personal with me as well. And it's personal to everybody out there in the YouTube community that she has done this to. Because it's been, 40 people? 40 people, I think, was on the list.
Wasn't her husband talking about my vagina and going out of their way to make it personal? And what did I do exactly?
Yeah, which is really weird. How did I sexually harass her when her husband's talking about you in a sexualized way? I don't understand it. But anyways.
Penis,
so like I said, we have plenty of weeks to kind of get this sorted out. So we'll see how it goes.
There's going to be a lot more. Having like the initial complaint now is so helpful to me and for people and like to understand what's going on and whether or not your case is actually a good
One
case.
sec. Can I hang on. By the way, please, people in the live chat, mods, do not time people out unless they're trolling. Straight out, do not time people out or hide people unless you know they're a troll. If they disagree, that's fine. If they talk shit, I don't give a shit. Only people that will get timed out or timed out or hidden are actual trolls. If they say something negative, I don't really fucking care. I will take, if I think it's bad enough, I will do that. Okay? But I don't want people being timed out because they say something, to somebody else. There's a lot of drama been going on in the community that I've stayed away from. I've tweeted, don't draw me into this shit. I've got enough in real life stuff, which people that know me in real life and people that are close to me know what's going on in my life. The rest people don't. But I'm asking people, keep me out of the drama. I have my focus right now is Kyle and Katie's lawsuits, my job, my health, and that kind of stuff. That's it. I cannot deal with anything else right now. So don't tag me. Don't draw me into anything. Don't involve me in anything. I'm begging you for that. I have begged people before for that. I literally have. I mean, like Kren Sherpa. I love that guy. He's great. But I keep telling him, don't tag me and stuff, and he has finally recognized that. But it's like, look, if you care about me, don't tag me in anything. Just don't, unless it's normal stuff. But anyways.
Karen Bluebird asked, because they didn't tag you, but I see them starting with your name. Are you also taking part in the class action lawsuit or just your own lawsuit? Sorry if that's a stupid question. That's not a stupid question. That makes total sense. I've seen this question a couple of times.
No, it's a great question. The problem is I don't have an answer. I don't know anything about the class action except that Todd wanted to do it. He said he had like 6 people or 12 people on it. I know 6 supposedly that were on it. I don't know the other 6. But that's the only thing I've ever heard. I've not seen anything for a class action. I've not heard any rumors. No lawyer has told me anything about it. So I know nothing about the class action other than that.
Kino asked, hi Kino. Steve, are you thinking of suing Unirock too? Because he has said horrible things about you too. You don't have to answer.
Yeah, no comment. I will tell you this because it's part of the disclosures. Unirock is on the list for disclosures. We do want those communications, which is another reason to fund the GoFundMe.
I remember
Wait, one
during the NDA. Oh, sorry.
One second. There's another reason to go to GoFundMe because I want all those. I want if Katie throws Unirock under the bus, I will negotiate far more. Okay, I mean
that would be the fireworks would be spectacular.
Yeah,
show.
I mean just
what a show
to show that Unirock is a complete psychopath. I want that pretty bad. Yeah, and so nothing's off the table at all. But again, one step at a time. First, I had to take actions against Kyle. Right? Obviously, Kyle was the front runner of all this, right? If it wasn't for Kyle, none of us would be in any of these situations. His ego, his narcissism, his dishonesty affected everybody in the community. It destroyed the trust people had because they had trusted him and he had absolutely lied to them. And I think that was something that more people probably should dive into if they're not aware of what's going on with the Non Sequitur show. But there's a lot of fuckery going on with that. But again, any information we get is going to be dealing with communications with Uni and Katie involving this stuff. Now, here's the thing. I've already talked to Chet.
Oh my goodness.
I've already talked to Chet. People can have. We were like, you know what? We should just put all our communications out anyways because people will be bored.
Yeah, but then we said that we would have to get people to pay us for it. I said it would cost a Klondike bar for me.
I said 10 grand, but whatever. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I will tell you guys. I'll give you my solemn word. My Twitter, my Facebook, my Instagram, my what else do I have? My email, you name it. Any social media I have, nothing is incriminating. Nothing is helps anything that she has, her allegations, and everything is consistent with everything that I've said from day one, from start to finish. Now, if we can show that Unirock facilitated some of this stuff and was behind a lot of stuff, I'm all for that. And there might be there might be people that want to sue him that could use this information later on. Just saying.
Sure. It's also like just the sweet, hot, spicy tea. I'm just not interested in seeing whatever nudes they've got back and forth that may or may not exist. I'm not down.
I have no nudes to anybody. I can tell you that right now.
I got some things I'm into. That is not one of them.
I don't.
However, I do remember speculating because we saw KJ's husband and KJ giving money to Unirock via super chat while he was basically to talk shit about you during the NDA. So if that information comes out, and that information comes out in these deposits, I'm speculating, right? I'm speculating. If there is information that confirms that, then there is a possibility that this information might show whether or not Katie actually broke that NDA.
Well, I'm not worried about that. There's nothing
No, it's just interesting. I don't know if there would be any
legalities,
repercussions or legalities to that. I just think it would be interesting.
He still said my MySpace is a bit suspect. You're not getting MySpace, my GeoCities, or my AOL merely because the graphics were so horrific. I don't want them out there. My MySpace was sus.
Combo. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I fully believe Unirock is a full-on professional game stalker. I have for a very long time. I'm not the one that actually recognized that. It was actually Lestat or what was the name, DeFango, that had pointed that out, and he was absolutely right. I mean, the dude straight up was right on that. I wasn't sure what he meant by it initially, but I had to contact him later. Said, yeah, okay, I get it now, because I didn't know what the hell gang stalking was. But after I learned about it, I'm like, oh yeah, he absolutely is a gang stalker.
Shanley asks, in your suit, does it go more into detail about her sexual harassment claims and more about accusing you of being the hacker?
Neither of each. And even in her response, all she does is just throw it out there. Steve sexually harassed me. There's no evidence for it because there isn't. It never happened. So she doesn't provide any evidence for it because there's none that exist. I will tell you this now. This is not public information. It's not been released. I gave Ali a copy. Cheshire has a copy, and a few other people might have a copy. And I'm not even going to say what it is, but what I'll say is I have exculpatory evidence to show that sexual harassment never occurred.
There's also the lawsuit isn't about that, so there's not a whole lot in there, but there may be more that it may come out more and be a part of it more later, I think is a little bit. Rose asks, my hands are busy, but I'm listening. Question, what if those who have donated 100 plus don't wish to be reimbursed? Also, my most sincere and most importantly condolences to all of you. #fuck cancer.
Yeah, if they don't want to be reimbursed, they just won't ask me for it after I get legal fees, I mean, but
right. So,
I'm offering that to people. I'm just offering it as, look, because I don't want people to think that I'm doing this for some kind of profit. I'm losing money on this. No matter what happens, I've lost money on this. Unless I get
that I pointed out when I looked at the GoFundMe. I was like, Steve's only asking for 50% of his expected costs.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm out funds, so I'm asking for that. So I'm out money on that. But if I get my funds and I get my legal costs, but the big money is in punitive damages. Punitive damages can be off the roof, and what I understand in Minnesota, gossip columnists are not favored. So there's a huge amount of liability there for legal fee, or for punitive damages. But for the most part, it's not about that. So yeah, if somebody says, look, this is yours just to get justice, that's fine too. If I don't get awarded legal fees or negotiate or whatever happens, I don't know. But I'm just offering, if it goes all the way to a jury, I'm expecting binding arbitration. But if it goes to that or a jury and they award legal fees, I'm willing to give back those legal fees, right? Because at that point, I'm doubling up. The way I looked at it mathematically, if somebody gives me $100 and then I'm awarded $100, so I get $100 from Katie, now I'm doubled. That's not fair. I don't want that. I want to give that money back and take that from Katie, obviously. So this is how I think of things. So it's more of a loan, if that makes sense, right?
Yeah, you're less asking for people to give you money and more asking for people to help you get this settled. And once it's settled, the money goes back.
Yeah, and of course, if it gets settled, then there's not, then obviously it didn't go to.
And if you don't want it back, bless your heart and thank you, I guess.
Yeah, well, but here's the thing: if it does for some reason get settled, then I didn't collect legal fees, and I thank them from the bottom of my heart,
If it gets settled and you do get legal fees, and people don't want the money back, would you be willing to donate that money to Puck?
I will take care of Puck somehow. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I mean, it's just one of those things. If it goes all the way to that, and I get legal fees, I want to.
It has to go that far first, right. So one step at a time.
But I do want. But I know a lot of these people are donating because they want to see justice done, and I respect that. That to me is the biggest thing because I want justice done. I want to show that what she has said about me was lies, and they were completely fabricated. Todd Chrisley has sued for the same reason. Toddy has sued her for the same reason. Hers was $5 million for the same reason. So, but I think, although I think more people recognize it now more than ever, but still, that those allegations are still out there, right? So,
Babel says, any ballpark idea of how long the lawsuit will take?
oh, I think it'll be pretty quick. It's basically all the preliminary stuff is done before it gets filed, right? So all that stuff is done. Then it will get filed in the court, and then you just say, okay, we want a jury or we want binding arbitration. I think both of us are better off with binding arbitration. That way, I don't have to fly down there. We put all the evidence in front of somebody, discuss it, and I might have to fly there. I don't know.
There's one factor I think that might change that time drastically, and it's whether or not Katie decides that she wants to try and settle. Christopher Fan always asked, hey, Steve, just looked at your GoFundMe. It says 9 months to file. Is that as of today?
No, that was like a week or two ago, I guess. It's approximate. Don't take it as an absolute hard number. I'm just somewhere in that ballpark, I guesstimated.
Yeah, so can you give like the details about the filing process? Because right now it's HIP service, and if you settle out of court, there would be no filing date.
Correct.
Right? So and you're entering into discovery.
Mm-hmm.
So how does that work without having filed in court directly?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the way in Minnesota works is they try not to clog up the system, right? And because they want people to try to settle and negotiate, we all know these are the facts. 90 to 95% of all cases never make it to a trial. And the reason for that is because trials are, one, not just costly, but they're unpredictable. And right now, unpredictability is the biggest concern I have about everything in my real life. Not talking about the court case, but in my real life, there's a lot of things that are happening, and I don't like uncertainty.
All of the above.
Yeah.
So, all of the above.
So the way they do it is they want to see if people can resolve things before it has to go to and then be put in the system, right? And that's smart. I think that's actually wise to do it that way. Some people like it, some people don't like it, but that's how it works in Minnesota. And so if they can't resolve it, right? And by the way, lawyers have to try to resolve. Lawyers by law have to try to negotiate. That's part of the legal system. And I understand that, right? And I have no problem with negotiations. But if they can't reach an agreement, right, then, it gets filed and then goes from there. But that's what the whole thing is, try to get it worked out before it goes that far. And that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
By the way, it's suing Uni wouldn't be for money. you suing Uni is going for his channel. If anyone wants to sue Unirock, it would be for him to say, okay, take down your channel or blah, 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 because his channel is all, in my opinion, defamatory. Everything, he's just one big smear merchant. But
you mean that you think it's slanderous to say that Back to the Future predicted 9/11?
Yeah, well, his videos, I mean, like I said, some stuff, there's going to be evidence that has Unirock stuff. I mean, I didn't give Ali a bunch of videos. I did give her like my master sheet that links to videos and things of that nature, but that's an awful lot of evidence, and I don't think Truth Sleuth wants to go through.
It's a lot to go through.
A lot. And plus, that document is private, and I asked her not to share it, and she hasn't, which is one of the reasons why I respect her.
Follow-up question, would KJ need to drop the countersuit to be able to settle?
Yeah, but she has no suit. I'm going to tell you right now, her countersuit's a joke. I mean, I'm not trying to be flippant about that. It is. I've already shared the 3 claims on it. One, that I fabricated screenshots. I can prove that's not true. I have evidence, overwhelming evidence that where I got those screenshots from. I didn't fabricate them. That's first thing. Second, she has said that I released confidential exhibits for her HRO, which is weird because they're her exhibits, and that somehow hurt her. She can't prove any damages on that. Too, my lawyer said I could. I have if she's a public figure and she has to prove malice. She can't prove malice.
If Steve does sue Uni, what will he do with 100 gallons of vape juice?
Yeah, I addressed that. And then the third thing she said is, what was the third? Oh yeah, that somehow about the thing with GoFundMe's, and I have exculpatory evidence for that. People were asking me about her GoFundMe's. So what does she have? Let her. So I mean, if she wants to spend something for nothing, whatever. But I mean, it just makes no sense to me. She has no case.
Adam Warlock says, not a lawyer, but I think settling even with profit might not allow you to refund due to NDA, as it might disclose terms.
I don't know what that
Careful
means.
that, I think. Well, it wouldn't apply in this case, because the only way you would be able to give that money back is if it goes all the way to court and a judge awards you damages. So if you were to sign an NDA, even if you got money back from that NDA, somehow it wouldn't the refund wouldn't be able to be applied because you were never awarded legal fees.
Right.
And that's what the contingent is for that.
Yeah, exactly. So what else we got for questions? But like I said, I know there's a lot of people that want to see justice done, and that's why, like I said, this GoFundMe is the best chance for that.
I mean, I see Ash Scott saying that his channel is probably the most valuable he has, unless he got a part-time job at KFC and didn't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Snuggle says, yes, you have to be careful that you share anything. There are people out there who like to show communications when they get mad at somebody. Hypocrite says, I think Steve shouldn't go for Uni's channel if he would sue him, because Uni would just move to the next channel or the next platform.
That's true, but at least it'd be out there. But I'm like, look, I mean, that's, again, we're talking about.
And what you're saying is that you would make you're suing him to make a point.
Yeah. No, but I mean, here's the thing, though. I wouldn't necessarily sue Uni, but here's the thing. There might be something that will, and that could be used all this later on, right? I mean, because Uni will piss off the wrong person, just like Katie has pissed off Toddy Westbrook, pissed off Todd Chrisley, pissed off how many other people. She's going to be sued again. Whether it's me or somebody else, she's going to be sued again. In fact, I know there's two possibilities. They're supposed to be suing her. It hasn't come to fruition yet, but again, she's going to be sued again. This is a matter of fact. This is what she lives in, a state of, look, when you're a tabloid person, you're going to say things that are slanderous and wrong, and you're gonna piss off the wrong person that sues you when she's dealing with these public figures because she gets information wrong. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. As a matter of fact, if you read, and I predicted that, did I not say in my blog, bigger, badder? My second blog on Katie Joy was in the video description. If you guys don't know the history, go read my blogs on it. I even said it's going to take somebody bigger, badder than me. But I had been told by people, look, Steve, you have the stronger case of everybody. You have actual evidence. I'm detailed as hell on it. You can prove this in a court of law, and the community will be behind you. And I had multiple people tell me this, and so I'm like, okay, I have the evidence. I have all this. The community's behind me, and so that's why I filed. And so far, the community has been very supportive, obviously. So, and I appreciate. I have no, my heart goes out. This. Everybody has their things going on. But there's a lot of toxicity out there, and I believe very strongly that these people have harmed people, not just me, but harmed many people. And I wanted to help. My lawsuit is to help people as well. It's not just for me. As a matter of fact, I will even offer, to make an arrangement with somebody if somebody wants to give me to help fund the lawsuit, that they get that money back somehow, and damages. But even if it's not, I mean, I'm making arrangements. I want this lawsuit to happen, right? I mean, I'm going to work my ass off to help make this lawsuit happen. That's why I went back to work, right? I didn't have to go back to work. I went back to work because, I believe this. I believe
you wanted to put your money where your mouth is. You're actually doing the things, and you're doing everything within your power.
I am not living high on the hog, I assure you, okay?
Like it or not, Katie is bigger than you are. According to her, she has a larger platform and has more money and has way more backup than you do. And so it makes sense when you are the little guy, when you are the underdog.
Yes.
In this case, it makes sense for you.
I'll tell you right now, I'm the victim.
When there's a whole bunch of other underdogs that she's been stepping on for years, it makes sense that suddenly those underdogs decide to actually work together to do something about the bully. This is like, if you want to use the schoolyard analogy, she's the big kid on the block who's suddenly not so scary when there's 7 other kids all standing together.
Yeah, and
So like, if you are tired of this crap and you want to help, since Steve is doing what he can and putting his money and his work and his life where his mouth is, unlike what you will see from Katie and from the people who are supporting her and the shitheads who do the shithead things that shitheads do, they're not going to do that. And they're not going to do that for you, because none of those people actually give two shits about how whatever collateral damage their actions cause, if it makes them money, if it gets them views, if it jerks them off.
Yeah.
That's not the case when it comes to what Steve is doing. So if you want to help out, great. If you're able to help out, fantastic. If you're able to put something forward, even a percentage, liking, sharing, what you can do to help out, it doesn't have to be monetary. Just getting information out there is helpful.
Getting it out there is a big thing. I mean, especially for the people that watch Katie that don't know any about this, that don't understand what the hell is going on here. Those are the big audience too. But somebody had, so just real quick, not to go back to beginning a little bit, but I just want to shout out to somebody here. Who was it? Devious Doggo did an OPT passed, and I'm sorry to that you had to find out that way. Somebody else for the same thing. I had to bear that bad news to somebody, and telling somebody that way it sucks. It really sucks. I mean, I remember the phone call I got when Bull passed was just
devastating.
I don't even how do you describe it? It's just shock, just disbelief,
Yeah. Yeah, so. It's not easy, and stuff like this is like
I
just
didn't
on
want
top
to believe
of
that
the
it was
other,
true,
on top of the other, on top of the other thing, and it's a lot, and it sucks. And
I should say unbelief. Sorry,
because of assholes on the internet being assholes on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like if you really want to know about like the important thing, I think, to take away from Ali's video, from Truth Sleuth's video, and from your interactions with Truth Sleuth, and from other people's interactions with others that try to undermine this kind of stuff. Who can you DM, ask for information from, and actually get answers? Who can you ask questions to and actually get answers and not have them lashing out at you?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's part of what we talked about on Caffeine Corner.
Mm-hmm.
It's one thing if you're asking somebody over and over and over again, and they've asked, like, if somebody is like snippy with you because they've had to answer the same question a bunch of times. There's a big difference than them lashing out at you for even asking in the first place, right? And so being able to recognize those things, and recognizing that, oh, Truth Sleuth asked Steve for this information, and he just gave it to her and gave her all that information, and she's able to show it and be like, yeah, I asked for the information, I asked questions, and I got answers, no problems. Big fucking whoop. You gonna try and do that with Katie? Good fucking luck.
Yep. And that's the thing. I've always told people, and I have a motto, and I want people.
Look at what happened when somebody asked Nate for clarification about that video clip of him talking about being a cop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have a motto, and I want people to memorize my motto, please. My motto is this: honest interlocutors asking honest questions will get honest answers. That's my motto. I created that motto for a reason, because that's what I live by. And everybody who's asked me who's an honest interlocutor, guess what they've gotten? Answers. Right? And now again, there are certain times where I even
got that years ago when Steve used to be way more like caustic about Twitter stuff.
Twitter Steve.
Twitter Steve.
But I mean,
I didn't have any problems asking Twitter. He was short, he was brief, he was like snippy about it, but it wasn't like anything like aggressive. It was blunt.
Yeah, well, that's how I am. But that's how I am even to this day, to some degree, because I am very turd in my responses to people. But that's not personal, and nobody should ever take those things personal. I do talk like a lawyer sometimes, only because the lawyers just want to put out the most informational in the smallest amount of space, and I do the same thing. I try to, at least. So, yeah. So.
Yeah, I just think it's interesting and valuable to point out like how well who is interacting with who and why. So why is it that people don't get along with Katie? Is it because of them? Is the drama because of them, or is the drama because of Katie? How is it that how well can people interact with others and see who they can get along with, who they don't get along with, why or why not? Who do they interact with? Who do they not interact with? Is there a reason why they don't interact with that person, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? Right. It's valuable information, and it's very subtle information if you're not looking for it, but it's super valuable to know. When sometimes somebody saying nothing speaks volumes, positive and negative.
Yeah, and there are people that obviously I couldn't show things to, and they respected that. And then later on, they're like, okay, I get it now. Um, but I mean,
I think
obviously, I
that's
can't make everything
100%
public, and that's
right.
why I've even in the Kyle case, I kept things that I didn't show the public. Matter of fact, I gave one thing to. I will tell you right now, I gave one thing to Allie that nobody else ever had. A communication that I had with somebody that literally
I'm
proved that Kyle was lying from day one
yeah.
about the medical stuff. Literally proved that I was saving for court that I didn't need to use. But it also is a communication with a friend of mine that, if I block out his name, maybe one day I'll make it public. But I know nobody needs to know who I was talking to. But he was a medical person. But again, medical stuff. But yeah, Ali is the only person that has that particular
Nobody
communication.
should be
I haven't even given it to my
requiring
other
that you
lawyer.
put out your. Nobody should be requiring that you put out your damn medical
Yeah, I know.
records. Like that's absurd.
Yeah, but you know me, I put out too much, and I recognize
You
that. So
overshare.
so I
Stephen
overshare,
over.
and so I drew that back a little bit. But anyways, Karen Bluebird,
think
welcome to Curious Hole. Thank you, Karen, for becoming a member of the channel. I do appreciate that. By the way, another way to support is just members and Patreon. I know I haven't been able to put out the content I wanted to recently.
There's kind of been stuff going on.
Been a lot of stuff fluctuating. I haven't forgotten about you guys. I haven't. I love you guys, and I have things I'm planning. So it has been rough, and so but yeah, Patreon is definitely one way to support me because we are going to be doing Caffeine Corner on Judgment Call. We're going to be doing this stuff, and then of course to let you guys know on the 9th. Kyle's supposed to be in court, and he's supposed to have everything turned over by the 9th. Is he going to? No. Let's be realistic. I don't know what the hell he's going to do. Will he sort of flee?
It is already the 4th.
Yeah.
He's a little bit low, and it's a Thursday, so the 4th. If you do not include Saturday and Sunday, that's only 1-2 days before the 9th, and then the 9th.
But like I said, in the next couple of days like that, if every one of my mods and people that want to promote this got this information out there, it would really help. It would really, really help, especially building up this channel again. Again, I'm never going to reach this channel the likes of Katie Joy. Not going to happen, right? I never expected to. I never even said that I expected to have 100,000 people on this channel. Never. Or even 20,000. Those are never my aspirations. I put out content that I enjoyed, and I enjoy doing it, right? And I'm going to be straight up my audience because I've never lied to you guys. It's not as fun as it used to be. It's just not. It's not as fun as it used to be because of the toxicity. But I'm still doing it.
Everything's been such a slog.
It's a slog.
This is 2
sometimes.
years. No,
Right.
like ignoring like that even Kofefe has gone on, which is a drain on everybody. But like all of the everything happening between deaths, between lawsuits, between like just toxic garbage and just the amount of targeted gang stalking that goes on, like how is it really worth it for the stupid math video? Like you gotta start questioning what is actually going to be worthwhile and what isn't. What do you care about? What do you value? And these are reasonable questions to ask, and they're reasonable questions for the audience to ask as well. Right?
I could not agree with you more. I mean, again, I put out math videos. Go look. If people don't know, go look at my and I'm not even good at math, but go look. My videos, I want to do math videos and calculus videos, and I want to do philosophy, obviously, and that got all sidetracked because of this shit. I mean, I don't have a drama channel that wants to comment on freaking what happened on the Housewives of New Jersey or something. I don't watch any of those shows. Matter of fact, I remember people saying, "Oh, Steve's a big Teen Mom fan." Here's the facts. I have never watched the show, any of them. I have never watched a single episode of Teen Mom or any other of them. I don't watch Love After Lockup. I don't watch Jib Duggar, whatever. I don't watch any. I don't even watch Chrisley. I hear he's funny, but I don't watch any of that shit. It's not what I do. I don't give a crap about those particular shows because I don't watch them. If you want to talk about Doctor Who, maybe. And I'm not faulting those shows. They may be great shows. I really am not shitting on them. And anybody could watch them. That's great. Watch anything you want. I'm just saying that I don't. And yet I was accused of that. And I'm like, first of all, even if I did, who gives a shit? But second, I don't. Mikey Cage, he says, I don't have a question. I just want to wish you luck in your lawsuit, even though you don't really need it. But I also want to give you and everyone who was close to OPT my condolences. Thank you, Mikey. You are, by the way, another extremely good man, very honest, and I do love you, man. You have been nothing but kind to me, and
We should probably get out of here,
Talk.
Steve.
Yeah, talk, because I'm going to start losing again.
We should get yeah, I am the emotional support goblin.
Yeah,
so
stop doing this, people, to me. Stop being. Yeah,
Steve doesn't cry on stream like a little girl. It's okay. Crying is all right.
I told people I'm trying to hold it together, man. It's rough.
I know. It's so
rough,
hard. Man. Life is difficult. Everything has been difficult. This past week has been really oddly slow and oddly fast at the same time. Like, a lot has happened, but it's also been like in a rush and it's been dragged. But at the same, it's bizarre. This past beginning of this whole month and like the end of October has just been really weird.
It has been extremely weird. Yeah. But luckily, you know, I'm focused at, you know, when I go to work, I'm focused with that. I'm gonna let people know. Look, I'm not focused what's happening on Twitter or anything like that. Those trolls are just they're over here. I'm over here right now, and there's an air gap there because I'm not seeing anything they write. I don't care. I'm just putting out stuff, and so everything that those trolls are doing, it's on you guys now. You guys can engage with them. Don't engage with them. I don't care. Just don't tag me with it, because when I do check my Twitter, which is not as often as I used to, I don't want to see it. So just leave me out of it. Do what you want with those trolls. Play with them all you want. I say block them personally.
There's enough going on.
But
you don't have time for this.
Yeah. Little Miss Betty Page, I give you back. I don't know why. I think I gave you mods in the Great Debate community, but I don't know. I'm not sure I've ever did here, but you have mods now. Living Hypocrite just recently downloaded my Twitter archive and found Teen Mom as an interest at Twitter. Recognize I have. Twitter seems to know more than me. Oh, and by the way, like I said, look, I think I can have my entire Twitter data. I've sent my Twitter data to my lawyers before. I mean, it's just nothing in there. All these allegations of being me, you know, doing anything that Katie Joy has suggested, never happened. Never called her, never texted her, never emailed her, never threatened her. I have proof that never happened.
Never been in a room with her?
Yeah, I have actual proof that her allegations that I threatened for her to make a video is false. I have literally proof of that. So...
All right,
let's get out of here.
I think this has been pretty positive.
Yeah.
As heavy as it is, I think it's been pretty positive. I applaud the chat for remaining positive. I applaud those watching later for remaining positive, and I applaud those who are lurkers who recognize, although you don't say much, your support is a lot just in the fact that you're around, and it's really appreciated.
Very much so. All right, so guys, help. Like I said, please help with the GoFundMe as you can. It's going to be a long, arduous thing. Let's just see what happens, and go from there. But like I said, I am going to be promoting my GoFundMe every single stream. That's going to be my primary thing. That, Kyle, and my legal things are going to be my primary things from here on until the some resolvement. But I am going to be doing, obviously, other stuff. Don't get me wrong. We're going to be doing gang stalking on Saturday, I think. Right? And then you're going to be doing...
I think you're talking about either this Saturday or coming up, depending on how you're feeling and where we're at.
Yeah.
And I will be covering the entirety of the redacted version that Ali was so kind as to break for us. I'll be going over the full thing, like read through the whole thing. That'll be on Sunday.
Yeah, and I did put her video link in the video description. And again, I do want to thank Truth Sleuth very much so. Like I said, she has been objective, critical analysis. I couldn't ask anything more. I don't want her to be biased. I expect her not to be biased. And she hasn't been. And what's the problem, right? So, I mean, she's done an amazing job in her videos. I wish I had that kind of talent, because I just don't. It's not my shtick. I do this kind of stuff. But anyways, we're going to wrap it up. We're going to get out of here. Thank you guys so much. Please help me in any way possible. I want to see justice done, not just for me, for other people. And again, my heart goes out to OPT and his families, OPT's family and friends and things of that nature. And it sucks. And hopefully we won't we won't have to deal with something like this again for hopefully a very, very long time. I can't. If anybody else dies, I'm done. I'm just going to be telling you right now, it's game over. I'm not suicidal, by the way, but it's just I can't. Yeah, I'm not suicidal, but no, I mean I cannot. I'm not just. This is not just words. I will not be able to handle it. There's been a lot of stuff going on. I would also
recommend for people, for old drama and for new drama, we're busy for that right now. There's too much going on, so I just don't draw any conclusions about Steve's position just because he's busy.
Yeah, exactly.
So if there's something has gone on, then
I told people I've drawn back from that. That's why
catch up on it later.
That's why I kind of feel bad for other people, because all these weird psychopathic trolls that are just trying to troll me, they're not trolling me. They're trolling you guys. They're not trolling me at this point because I'm not watching any of that stuff. I don't watch any of their stuff. I don't see any of it. It's just non-existent to me. They're trolling you guys at this point. So, My position is just block every single one of them. Why would you not want to? But do your thing, but leave me out of it. Is the only thing I ask. So.
It's Critical Role tonight. Let's get out of here.
All right, go
watch
do your
Dungeons and
Critical Role.
Dragons.
All right, good night, guys, and I love you guys. And your support has been immeasurable. And I will say one last thing: there have been people that have messaged me saying that if it gets too rough to contact them, I'm taking you up on that offer. Okay, does that make sense? Don't know what it is. All right, peace.